Kia ora, dear listener or viewer. Welcome to Zealand. Now, Zealand is set in a post-apocalyptic world, so it goes without saying that we will be exploring some of the darker natures of humanity. So if you're squeamish or the idea unsettles you, take your chance now to walk away. For now, we return to Zealand. Kia ora, guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is Season 3. This is Chapter 3, Deadly Winds. And no, I'm not talking about these three individuals in the room with me, although they can probably together produce some pretty deadly winds. No, something else, something different. Today, Jake is not with us, but he is with us in spirit. He is still here. At the end of the last, our survivors found themselves cornered, their backs against a wall. They left a forest just before the sun set, running from an enemy that they still did not fully understand. Something that terrified them, and terrified the large Russian that was with them, who carried his unconscious friend, and one of the other comrades who had something of a hand injury, back towards this supply center. There are no lights inside this place. You've sealed it as best you can, and you can hear noises on the roof. The sun has just set. The four of you that are here, what do you do?
I believe Jake saw the baby face.
He did believe that he saw something there. Moments afterwards, Scott span a flashlight around up towards that point, which blinded his night vision, and then there was nothing. It was a very small hole. Jake didn't, or wasn't able to give you a proper approximation of what this face looked like. Because he couldn't give it. It was too blurry, it was too hard to see, but he saw eyes looking down at him. He was sure of it. And now you all sit with your back up against this roller door, hearing scurrying going on the rooftop above you.
I'm gonna try and listen to see if I can tell how many sets of feet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep quiet and keep the group quiet as well. Just putting my finger over my mouth, and
there is one lonely torch which has been placed kind of halfway down by Jake, which is illuminating all your faces as you're gathering around. And Vedant, you just kind of look up towards there and just start to listen. Roll perception for me. This is challenging, so it's flat.
23 success.
23 success. Okay. You listen for a while. The rest of you sit and listen. You can see Vedant kind of like.
I'm also moving my torch around as well that I put in my hand.
You go back and forth. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 3. It's difficult to get positions. Sometimes one of those numbers might have been a repeating footstep coming across, but you hear, from your estimation, from what you're able to get from that, you're guessing you've got between 3 to 4 things on top of this roof right now. Just this kind of pittering of footsteps moving about above you.
I'm going to look at the rest of the group and just motion. I've just conveyed that there's 3 instead of just, say 3 or 4.
I look around and see what our position is. I'm pretty sure from memory the only exit is the roller door that we closed.
You all had a good look around, and the only exit was that door, which is now down as best as it could be, but it wasn't fully securable. You've got some things down in front of it, and you have kind of used the loop to try and weigh it down so it can't just be pulled up
to the floor, but just not locked.
Yeah. And what's the rough guesstimate meterage of the length of this thing? Is it like a sprint length or? Oh,
it's a sprint length. Yeah, if you yeah, exactly, about 100, just maybe over just 100 meters. Yeah, not 200, not quite. So you wait here for a time. You think that you've figured out numbers here. Rud is over with Ismail, and it's quite dark. It's very hard to see what he's doing. His comrade is kind of slumped up against the wall, the one whose hand was bad. That's been kind of wrapped in a bag of sorts, like a plastic bag's been put on it, and medical tape's been wrapped around it. That's what he's done so far, and he's got the guy's hands just up on his shoulder, just kind of, again, using medical tape just to wrap around to keep his hand up. That guy is out, and he is pale. He is super pale. He does not look good. Ismail is out on the ground, and for those of you who are close enough to see, you can notice a bit of a swelling on the side of his head that's just protruding slightly. And Rud's just kind of, he's got his hand on his chest, and he's whispering something. You can't quite make out the words that he's speaking, but it's something in Russian that he's just whispering over and over again.
I'm just quietly still keeping my ear out, just to confirm. So at the moment, I'm going with the assumption that there are 3, possibly a 4. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to confirm that, while also just sort of.
I whisper, saying to the guys, "It's going to be a long night.
We should probably take shifts."
I don't know if I can sleep.
I don't think I could.
It would help to get rest, even if it's not, a sound night's sleep. Because if we have to make a dash for it, I'd be much more comfortable if we were doing it with our senses about us, to whatever degree we can.
Rest doesn't have to mean sleep. Not actively watching.
Okay.
I'm happy to take the first watch.
I'll take it with you.
Cool.
You guys get some rest. We'll wake you up in a couple of hours.
Okay. So, some of you attempt to sleep as best you can. Shortly after you kind of settle down, how are you being on watch? What's your kind of routine here? Are you just staying awake, or?
Staying awake, just periodically keeping an eye out with torch, and.
So you're not moving from the position that you're in. You're staying in the same spot.
I might lightly move away, but I don't stay away from a. I stay within a probably 5 to 10 meter range of the group.
Okay, but you do a little bit of pacing around. Okay, so the rest of the group, you're all up against one wall, the corner of this place, which kind of goes in line with the roller door. While doing your kind of first round, once everyone's settled down and things have become a little bit quieter in here, roll perception for me, and you're going to get a plus 20 to that as you approach the roller door when you're coming back round on one of your walks.
22 success.
22 success. As you are doing your rounds, and you're walking quite close to the door, and you're kind of looking up, you hear something down towards your feet. And you look down towards the roller door, and you see fingers extending out underneath the roller door and just slowly gripping the door. These are small fingers.
Just from memory, I can't remember. Did we fasten the door?
Like I said at the start, you guys secured it as best as you could, wrapping something through what was left of the existing lock and trying to weight it down.
Okay, I won't talk, but I'm going to just slowly make my way over to where I see Verdant.
Okay.
And inform him of the...
You're by the rest of the group. Really, you're only maybe a little bit further than this distance away from each other right now.
Yeah.
You hear Nick just cough in his sleep. Well, not exactly in his sleep.
I suffocate him.
Okay, good. Good move.
Yeah, there's some small hands trying to...
How do you want to approach this? Do you want to...
I don't think that's advisable. I just think we all need to be aware of our situation as it updates. It could just be my lack of imagination, but I don't think these things will be able to get through the roller door.
I mean, if they can do that to someone's hand... I'd keep an eye on it. I'll keep the others within arm's length to wake them if need be. I'll avoid using my loud gun.
Roll perception for me. Again, both of you that are awake.
31 success.
Any modifier?
It's just flat.
44 success.
Okay, you both hear the rattling of the slight, very delicate rattling of a chain. One that's been wrapped around, essentially weighing this thing down. Because the lock that was holding this thing in place was shot out by the crew that was here before you. You were able to deduce that. So it wasn't able to be secured, locked in, so a chain has kind of been brought through. There is no padlock. It's been wrapped around as best as you can. You hear that chain moving.
Okay, and it hasn't been that long since we've...
It's been as long as you've been talking right now.
So the others will still be awake.
Yeah.
You were saying?
You guys, you are whispering this to each other under super whispered tones. That's why, yeah. But those of you who are trying to sleep, you can hear that there is discussion going on between Verdant and Scott, just unable to make out what the words are.
I don't think we can stay.
Yeah. Be too easy if we could. I'll go and...
We just shake them up
Yeah.
and just say we can't stay.
Why can't we stay? This is Jake speaking.
You can do a better Jake impression.
He sounds like...
Hey guys, why aren't we gonna stay?
It sounds like he's like Mario or something like, why can't we stay? They seem to be already trying to get into the roller door. And then I kind of just...
You hear a large weight shifting in the shadows as Rud stands up and walks towards the rest of the group. Leave?
Yep.
And he just points back to the two Russians. Stay.
They're in front of their way out.
What is problem?
Oh, I point to the hands under the...
We just say,
fingers.
dead.
Rud starts to walk towards the door.
And I follow with him.
As he gets up towards it, he looks down, and you can see, and they're moving very, very, very slowly around the chain. You can see them just kind of moving slightly, and it's not like a hand; it's like fingers that have extended out underneath. Rud just looks down, raises his leg up, and stomps down with all of his might, and just goes at the top of his lungs and just slams on the door.
I literally yell at him and say, you stupid fucking Russian!
What? We wait? No, they know here.
It's too late now, isn't it, you fucking psychopath?
They know here.
Alright. Calm down. Well, what's been done's been done.
I draw my weapon.
Wait. Fear. Scare.
Not sure if they feel feared.
He points back towards the guy whose hand's up. Not dead. People. Not dead.
I look from Root to Scott.
You scared. They may be scared. We give fear.
I draw my new weapon. And I'm getting ready for whatever this is gonna be.
It's like silent out. Absolutely silent.
If I press my ear against the door, do I hear noises on the other side?
Roll perception for me. Again, flat.
85 fail.
Yeah, you put your ear up against it, just that cold metal against your ear. Just hear a breeze. And then following that breeze, you start to hear something else. A pittering, a pattering. You start to hear droplets of rain hitting the top of this roof. It's slow at first, but then it becomes like a cacophony. This is a metal roof, and all of a sudden it's just downpour atop this thing. It is loud, and at this point,
I know it's gonna be fucking deafening.
it's deafening. So you're all like so close to each other, and at this point you're having to kind of shout to each other to be heard. But
That's not going to do us any favours.
Seems to be the disadvantages seem to be stacking on us.
What's the play here? If we're going to stay, and I don't see another way out, we will have to mow down whatever comes.
Well, if they didn't know we were here before, they certainly do now.
Yeah. Well,
The moment we see a sign of them, we need to.
Rude walks up towards you, like really close, and he taps your axe. Ting, ting, ting. He points down at the door. Sure.
Shut up.
He just kind of looks at you. He walks back off towards Ismail and just starts saying what he was saying before, and he seems to be clutching something like beneath his shirt.
I'm going to look at Scott and slightly lower voice so that we can't hear.
But loud enough so that we can all hear. Yes, yeah.
I'll say, if it comes to it, I'm leaving them behind.
Fair call. I mean, these things seem
Sorry.
These things seem to be a lot smarter than we've encountered before. And in saying that, any form of aggression, they might be able to mentally take that into account. Like, I mean, even animals deal with aggression differently, so these things being smarter, if we can't do any effective damage against them, doing what our Russian friend over here is suggesting would only antagonize them.
Yeah. Well, in that case, what is the play? If we're gonna
survive as long as we can until the sun comes up. I mean,
well, in that case,
we don't have much night vision or anything to work with. They've got all the advantage.
It's dark out there. That rain, it's not going to be easy for us to travel back. We know the way a little bit, but we don't know the entire way. I mean, me and Nick, yeah, it's
It would be suicide us leaving now.
How much of this rain is getting through the roof? Because I know there's small holes.
there are smaller holes, but there's that one slightly larger one which Jake initially saw a face in. Yeah, it's running down through there, but you can kind of hear it just cascading and just pattering just on the concrete.
Not a whole lot of it though.
Not a massive amount, but it is finding its way in here. Yeah.
Just remember that would be a rather slippery patch of concrete. Just
Yeah.
Safety first.
yeah.
Okay, well, if we're going to make a stand, then we need to cover all the exits or all entry points for them. So, they can come in from here, point at the roller door. I don't know how big these things are, but we may want to keep an eye out on that. I counted 3 earlier, maybe a 4th. But it would be a good idea to, I guess rest is out the door. If we can rest, even if it's just one person resting at a time, it would be great to have somebody that's rested to a degree at any given time, so at least one of us is thinking clearly. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. If we can find anything else here that can barricade or secure the door or all other exits, we should go about looking for doing that.
For each one person resting, we lose 2 of us. We would have to have 2 people guarding the person asleep, at least in a relative proximity.
Fair enough.
I don't think anyone's going to be able to get any meaningful rest anyway.
While they're having that talk, I want to slowly be taking off my bag and digging through it and finding that small collection of those little tea light candles that I've got and just lighting half dozen of those to throw around just to give us a bit of
Ambient
extra
light.
light.
Yep. Sure. Yep. Dan starts making a summoning circle. Okay. All right.
Maybe just slide 1 or 2 of them just a slightly bit further out of us as well, just to...
Sure.
Okay. So is everyone staying awake?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So your wait begins. With the rain pouring down, your ears straining to hear anything of footsteps or movement, your eyes having trouble not looking down towards the roller door, just hoping that you don't see anything from the other side, anything popping its fingers back through.
Is there any visibility on the outside of the roller door?
Any visibility?
Yeah, any kind of windows or anything that can look
No.
out outside?
No, the only way you'd be able to is if you got down really low and tried to look through the crack.
I'm not doing that. That's horror movie shit right there.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Okay, and so, as you are waiting, unable to determine exactly how much time is passing by at this point, I need you all to roll Constitution for me. It's flat.
Is it just Constitution, not to make use of my masochist?
No, this is sleep related.
Yeah.
20 success.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 73 fail.
63 fail.
Okay.
5 success.
Okay. Alright. Scott and Nick, you're feeling okay as you're making your way through the night, but Dan and Verdant, you start to feel tired. Like, you've had a physical day already, and the two of you, while you are able, you're not entirely able-bodied. It takes a lot of physical energy to work around the prosthetics that you have. Yes, you've been getting used to them to a degree, but still, it takes a lot out of you. And you are feeling that settling in. It's mild to start with.
Because you guys wouldn't be consistent to your sleeping patterns yet as well, because we've had 5 years of relative stability and sleep patterns.
And your experience was very different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just dark and there's some fucking candles around everywhere as well.
So, other than the candles, does anyone else have a torch or anything else like that still on? Like, because some of the torches that you have, they're the variety of the, like, slot-down, low-powered lantern ones, so it does put out some light.
I have 2 LED torches with me that I've been using one of my LED torches.
Okay, all right.
Which I charge regularly at the base.
Yep, and you're using that to just scan the warehouse essentially, just to keep your eyes on the inside.
If you didn't have anything, I'd give you my other one.
So good. I'd have that, which I'd probably what I'd do is I'd periodically turn it on, do a sweep, turn it off again.
Okay.
Trying to deal with as much of the ambient light that Dan set up for us as much as we can.
Yeah.
With periodic light.
Looking around. Okay. Yeah. That rain's still really, really coming in. It's.
If it takes, like, if there's a long amount of time that passes, and I hear nothing, the only thing that's sort of keeping me going is the adrenaline, I will get impatient and I'll probably the crack. Like, not right up against it, but like get down and try to see if I can see anything out there.
Okay, roll perception for me. This is going to be -20.
Yep. -20 to my skill, right?
To your skill.
20 success. So that was a 24 that I had to do. With that -20. That's a success.
While everyone else is staying awake and coping with this the best they can, you place your face down on the cold concrete floor. You start to look out through that small little gap beneath the roller door. There is little to no light outside, if anything at all. And the rain that's kind of pattering in kind of gets you blinking as some of it flashes up and kind of hits you in the eye as you're kind of going close down towards it. And you're looking out there. You're trying to focus your eyes. And you know the darkness. You spent a number of years in pure darkness with nothing else. You can see pretty well in the dark. And as you let your eyes adjust, as you let the candlelight fade away, the LED light fade away, and you look out there into that darkness, you are 100% sure that something is looking directly back at you. In a very similar position to your own, except just a little bit further away from the concreted area, you can see one of the bodies, the remains of the initial shamblers that were here. But you can see something just slightly above that. Its head sticking out and just looking towards that point there.
After I get over the initial shock and horror and finish shitting bricks, I'm going to try and make out as much detail as I can about this, whatever's looking back
Okay.
at me, whatever I can see.
What you're able to determine right away is that you don't think you have been seen, as far as you're aware, because this thing's its attention is split. It's kind of looking around, not just directly towards. Occasionally, just head comes straight back. It is very dark. It's very hard to make out details, but this seems to be a small humanoid. It seems to be a small person. You can't make out much in this darkness.
I take the torch, when it not directly where I am, but off to the side, click it on, and then click it off again. See what it has.
And you're staying looking towards it. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll pretty much like hold it out a bit further to my right.
Mm-hmm.
Click it on, click it off.
All right.
Just to see how this thing reacts.
Yeah, you click it on and you see just immediately just head swings to the side and just stays there, and the light goes off. And the head just stays looking in that direction there.
Yeah.
it's very hard to make out in the darkness, but you know, like, how a person should look. The hair on their head seems to be very patchy. You can see a little bit of hair. What you're assuming is hair. Seems very, very patchy and sparse. Again, it's very difficult to make it out. This is a shot in the dark.
Yeah, it is. Cool.
So all of you witnessed Vedant like laying down on the thing, doing a little flash out there.
I rise back up. Whoever's nearest to me.
Interesting.
I see one of them out there. It reacted pretty quickly to the light, so I'm assuming it's a lot more akin to the faster undead people. Primal, not the dead. It's just watching. There seems to be some form of intelligence to it. So you might have been right on the money there. That just makes these things all more terrifying.
I need everybody to roll perception for me. This is going to be challenging. So this is a -20, no, difficult, -20 to your roll across the board. This is not sight-based, this is hearing. To your skill.
Fail by a mile.
48 fail.
Yeah.
Nick.
53 pass.
Yeah.
So while this conversation is happening, Nick, you're slightly off to the side. Slightly further away from the rest of the group. Just looking at the length of this place. It's very, 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 very noisy before this rain. But on the opposite side to the roller door, the far side, the kind of forest side, you think you can hear what sounds like footsteps in mud, but like kind of heavy footsteps, like a squelching, just reasonably placed, and it seems to be moving around the side of this building, moving its way towards the front.
I place my ear on the wall and try and follow it as best I can.
Okay, you all see Nick dart to the far side of this place and just start following alongside the wall. And you can actually hear almost like, because the outside...
Just like a walking symbol with my fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake kind of nods and understands what you're saying. The others kind of get it as well, because it makes sense. You can almost... It's almost like you can hear... because the outside of this is corrugated, so it's kind of a little wavy. You can hear what sounds like... You know when you're walking along a corrugated iron like wall, and if you were to like run your fingers along it, it sounds like that. Like this. Also, and accompanying the boots, just this of a hand like moving across, or something moving across corrugated iron. And it seems to be moving around the front, gets to the top end, and starts moving around towards where the roller gate is. And then it stops.
Turn around the other, there's something out there. But I don't know what. Sounds like something heavy.
Again, you're having to like get close to each other and almost shout to converse over the rain on the top of the thing.
I just don't want to shout at 6 in the morning.
Yes, no, precisely, yeah. And then you hear something up against the roller door. I'm trying to remember it. Oh my god. You hear a knocking sound.
The knock?
I'm trying to remember what that knock is.
That's the... Was it that, wasn't it? I was pretty sure.
It's a knock that you recognize.
Yeah.
on this door,
What was the reply?
on the outside. You see Jake's eyes kind of light up. You expecting company?
No.
What's going on?
I mean, it's a pretty generic knock.
Can you see anything in
Yeah.
I'm gonna get down low again. And I'm gonna try and look under the door. The roll door.
I go to the door and I try communicate. Say, who's there? Get real close to the door.
Yeah.
Try almost towards the gap, like is the net gap that's in the roller doors, just so a little bit easier for the sound to get through.
Have I seen anything under the door at this point?
Not yet. You've gone. You're down. Okay. You can see someone standing. You can see boots up against the door. Right where you were. That's where that knocking, that tapping was. You hear a shouted but kind of muted voice calling back through to you. Oh, thank fuck it's you. Are you okay?
Who is that I don't
You
recognize?
recognize the voice as the voice of Jen.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Can you open up?
Yeah.
I'll go and open the door, but
Okay.
not all the way up.
It takes effort to unravel this and kind of get it back and open. Takes time, but eventually it does start to wheel back open, and you can see that like Rud is like getting up and he doesn't quite know what's going on, and he's kind of powering towards the front.
I'm getting a weapon ready.
As soon as it opens, you see a like very, very rain-drenched person kind of duck in under, with like a big raincoat on, wrapped up with a quiver and a bow across her as she kind of ducks in, up and under.
Close her up.
Just as you start to try and close it up, a hand grips it and
Now
holds
I
it up.
can. I'm gonna cut. I don't know if she bought someone else. I'm gonna cut.
Roll. Okay, what's your initiative?
40.
Can I ask someone to come to the table?
Lose my other fingers, mate.
He's only got one hand left.
I know.
Literally, only got one arm left.
Let's have a look at my skills there.
Hey, sorry, it's what I
no,
do.
it's fair.
It's all
Oh, no, maybe Jen
instantaneous
can
and
see
in
it
a
and
moment.
save me. Same 40.
Both 40?
Yeah.
Do you want us to roll for it?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's the same
It's
to
just
break
a
the tie.
straight roll off. Well, actually,
69.
okay, 69.
35.
Okay, you've rolled higher. A higher roll than
I
this.
succeeded.
You succeed at that. Okay. Alright.
Just run it as it is. I mean, it's the way it goes.
Roll. Okay. That's to see if you're actually able to do it. Now I need you to roll fight.
Sadly, I roll what I normally roll.
You don't have it. It is
It's
difficult,
It's
but
not aimed either, because I'm just literally just attacking quickly.
okay.
It is a 27 pass.
27 pass.
So
Okay.
that's- Yeah, it depends, because it's 57 damage.
Yeah. No, hang on. Yeah, but it also needs to succeed
Yeah.
first. Okay. Oh, so what was your pass on?
27.
27? Okay. Okay. You start to bring this, bring this axe down just as this person's starting to get up. It's Jen. She sees the axe coming down and she just tries to, get between you and just says, wait! As she, gets up and puts her, right onto your arms. As you're bringing your arm up, she essentially, she goes in and starts to
I'll
hold your
stop
arm
if I
up
can.
against-
It's a heavy weapon, so
She stops you.
okay.
She gets in there, and you feel her, like, strengthen it, like, enough to stop you in that swing as someone else ducks in underneath the door.
I wonder who it could be.
A very, very drenched and miserable looking man over here, just completely soaked and...
I got a rain jacket.
Well, yeah, the rain jacket's soaked. You're fine underneath of it. You're great. But yeah, you bring up your head in there, Jen as well.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Pull in real quick. Close it.
Immediately close the...
And my heart's just like...
These rough welcomings, man.
I know, right?
The things that you do for your team.
How the fuck did you get through?
I don't know. We walked in.
Your journey here, to give you an idea of your perspective of how it has been for you. After you left the boat, you walked here on foot with Jen, and it's been difficult to make it so far. There have been large numbers of shambling, lifeless dead that seem to be all heading in one direction.
And we followed them here.
Trying to move around them as best you can, and moving ahead, you have made your way here. This was the location that you knew that this lot were going to, and that the others were going to, the other Russians. This was the supply point where they were meant to pick up a large cache of weapons. That's the information that you've been able to garner so far. What gave it away, because it's been dark and it's been raining, what gave it away was the blinding flash of light that came out of a structure in the form of an LED torch fired by this man here. While approaching, you saw no activity of dead whatsoever, other than the corpses that you found nearby, corpses that were dead. You are ahead of the masses that were making their way in this direction. You don't know why they were heading this direction. You didn't hear anything in particular. You didn't hear any sounds off in the distance. But as soon as you were following your path and you saw what way that they were heading, you could only assume that it was something connected with the group that were ahead of you.
And they're also coming from like all directions, right? So they're between us and the boat again.
Yes.
So yeah, we walked in.
Yes.
You don't know how lucky you are.
Well, there's a horde of, the undead outside, so...
Not only that, this can add a new type to our bestiary.
What?
Ninja zombies.
Ninja predator zombies?
Ninja predator baby zombies.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how to explain it myself, but they seem different.
Alright.
They seem...
We haven't seen any.
They play with their food.
They're smart.
Kind of like old bestial tribe
But we don't
flayings.
We don't know for sure if this is even, if they are. These, well, the big guy was saying they could be dead. They could be living people.
They could be.
For their size, they're quick.
What I saw out there didn't look quick.
The stories that you told me before you got there, to the reserve, before the island, there were some fucked up people in that.
Yeah.
Having seen, or very briefly seen, the creature that was waiting outside, did I go look at its sort of skin or anything else at all, or just that matted patch of fur and that's what?
Just something that looked like wet hair on something. Yeah. Couldn't see much else. Yeah, no sense of colour or tone or anything in the dark.
That's cool.
Okay, I say, and speaking of fucked up people, that's why we're here. Auckland's coming to look for you guys.
What?
For us?
Well, for this place. Apparently, them and the Russians are maybe used to be good, maybe didn't used to be good. Not sure, but they're coming here looking for whatever it is here.
Auckland.
Just from Auckland, not sure.
And there's a horde of zombies.
That too.
Shit.
So while this is going on, I could go up and have a look fingers and hands of our friends here.
Oh, of who just arrived?
Yeah.
Fingers and hands?
Yeah, just to see if anyone's been stomped on.
Oh. Nick just kind of comes up and he grabs you by the hands. It looks like he's doing like a palm reading. As far as you can tell, both their hands, Jen's hands seem fine. She kind of offers them to you and you have a look and then you go over to Skulk, you turn over his hand. He seems to be okay.
So you know how you were talking about disadvantages stacking on us?
Yeah.
So now there's Rain, Baby Ninja Predator Zombies, Horde of Shambling Dead.
I don't think we're set on Baby Ninja Predator Zombies as for like what we're gonna... Yeah.
And Auckland, whatever that means. If that means what I think it means, if it's who's after us, then that's a whole other can of worms.
How? What could have been whoever's behind that truck we saw on the way?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, they're coming by land.
Do you know how far away Auckland is? Like the people coming from there?
What, like physically from here?
Yeah.
Well, they were within radio distance of Lee when I left. We took a boat, that's why we got here quicker, but they're gonna be here by maybe morning, midday.
Dad's with the boat now.
And
We're back by yours.
how far away do you think
By
the
himself?
boat is?
Yeah, he's on there. He's not at the dock. He went out into the middle of the river to be safe, but yeah, he's by himself.
If they got here, we might be able to do the same, but more people means a bigger target.
That brings up another question, but I'll finish my first. How far away do you think the dead you saw coming this way are?
At the pace that they were going, if they were able to keep any kind of direction in the dark, could be an hour, maybe more.
Let's call it an hour.
Also, to clarify, the actual location, specifically that you heard of, was the point, which is the location that you stopped off at briefly, as being the one that was...
The target.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got another thing as well. We also need to talk about, we can't carry the amount of equipment that's here with us.
What equipment is here?
Yeah, what is...
An armory full of like massive crates of like grenade launchers, automatic weapons, ammunition. Like
where in here?
In the forest.
it's in the forest. There's a cache. We've taken what we're going to use,
we took
but
one each just in case we didn't grab supplies.
any we don't take, I think will be better if we can. I mean, there's explosives.
If it's anyone even remotely like who we're worried it could be, we don't want them to have a single.
I'd rather them be gone than in their hands.
I agree.
100%.
Also an explosion which, if it's a decent distance away, it'll draw the dead.
Well, I'm not an expert on these, but the explosive shells. So
Like if it's built up ammunitions, those
They
things
would
will explode like
explode,
TNT, so...
We could take what we can carry and pile the rest and...
Here's another. We need, so just getting everything in perspective, we need to blow up the cache, get back to the boat, and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Well, the explosion would be a hell of a diversion.
Yeah, while dodging.
A diversion for the hordes maybe, but not necessarily for...
These new
No, but it will
things.
tell them exactly where we are, if they're as dangerous as you say.
That's if we make it to the horde in the first place.
Do you think they'll be able to see the explosion from where they are? If we move the
I'm
boat?
pretty sure a lot of people.
No, I meant like these little baby predators.
Oh, right, yeah, that.
Auckland probably won't be able to see it now. They're
About that.
not in this rain, and they're...
Depends what kind of fire it starts.
Oh, they'll see that tomorrow morning, yeah.
The reason I'm asking is if if plans don't work out the way we're thinking, and plans usually don't work out the way we're thinking, and we get cornered by Auckland, we need a bargaining chip. Whether or not those weapons survive, if they can't see the explosion,
I'm more than happy to send them into
Yeah,
whatever
so
the hell's waiting for them up here, looking for
Pretty
these.
Okay, how about this thing?
Didn't do with the children.
Unpopular opinion. Hang on, is there a Russian nearby that can hear me?
There's a big Russian who's kind of standing off slightly in the shadows, and roll intuition for me as you kind of glance over in his direction.
Yeah,
You're gonna get a plus 20 to this.
Plus 20. Oh, am I intuitive?
That's a good question.
Not really.
Hey,
Oh, 24 pass with that plus 20. Thank you.
anytime. He looks like he's kind of straining a little bit, like he's concentrating really hard. Like you can see him kind of like looking between who's speaking and just like looks like he's really concentrating. Yeah.
How about we just leave the southern problem for now, and we just fuck off, and leave whoever's left here to deal with the southern problem.
then leave the
Other
weapons.
Leave.
I think, again, we don't know where it's coming from Auckland, but if it's a group, anything like the groups we've experienced,
They will receive a very warm welcome.
they will, but they'll also be prepared. And if they manage to get out of here with that cache of weapons, that's going to be a lot worse for us than a horde of the dead in the long run. Ignoring the fact that it might be a group that has a grudge against us particularly.
Part of me that really wants to see him though.
Not armed with grenade launchers, you don't.
Scott, you feel Jen just kind of pull herself a little closer to you in the dim light.
So, I ask again, what's our play?
We do need to check first. You said you left someone in a boat in the bay?
My father, he's with our boat, which is running but only just.
Did you come in with face masks, respirators?
Yes, I did tell you.
Oh, yes, we did. We did. There wasn't...
Because I've got one from before the
Yeah.
time skip, so I mean,
Yes.
I told
Yes,
you, but
yeah.
I wore one.
We do
Jane,
we do have enough for if it's only the two of them.
Yes. However, yeah, you didn't experience anything too wild.
I'd hope the rain would protect you, but there's some weird spore clouds out there.
Those.
I'd assume they couldn't get through the rain, but at this point I don't really want to assume anything with the kind of stuff we're seeing.
well, whatever we're going to do, we need to do it quickly. That horde isn't really waiting for us.
Okay, so
Either we can't stay here if there's
Cache then boat.
cache and boat.
in this place. I know this building was pretty stripped out, but there were still like vague supplies. Are there anything in the way of bags or tarps or?
Potentially. Roll investigate for me as you start to crack open some crates. Back to this old chestnut.
Yeah.
All of last chapter was investigate, and
Yeah.
everyone was terrible investigating.
That's why I put all my points into investigating.
I want to keep an eye on Brood. Brood. However you pronounce it.
28 pass.
28 pass. Roll luck for me.
Rude.
Brood?
Rude.
Rude.
Brood.
Rude. How very rude.
He's a rude dude.
Brood is someone else. I'm picking up
18 pass.
Yeah, I'm Groot.
18
No,
pass.
Brood.
Okay. You do find a one after going through it, at least 2 to 3. You find a like one that seems to have a number of different tarpaulins in, and another that seems to have a number of like backpacks. They seem to be, not interchangeable, but you can kind of add on extra pouches and packs and stuff like that. But there does seem to be a base pack that's in there as well.
Might help. We can make something which we can drag more than we could fill up our bags with.
I don't think we want to be slowed down by dragging anything.
No, not enough to slow us down, I think.
And I mean, we've generally got a lot of like mid-level of noise as it is having a dragging.
That is true.
Also, I mean, we're all cripples, so
At the very least, we could Santa sack some of this.
I can carry a fair amount if I need to.
We can make use of our friend over here, and I kind of just head wag over towards
He's already got 2 unconscious people to deal with. I don't think he's
and
taking a lot.
and I don't think he's gonna wanna leave those two. So there's a very good chance of
Leave.
yes,
yes, we're gonna leave.
I don't think we have a choice
We
anymore.
don't.
we're going to leave, and I don't have one hand, and blow up your guns.
But take what we can carry first.
Yeah. Guns. Take. Leave. Boom.
Boom. Alright.
Leave boat.
Okay.
Okay.
I was our Russian with the bump on the head looking at the moment. He's still out?
He's still out.
He's not looking like pale or
Pretty pale.
he's pretty pale.
Yeah, they're both not as pale as One Glove.
Probably not. Yes, probably not looking in a position where we should, I think, to wake him just in case. Probably should leave that.
The hand dude, I have a feeling he's just lost too much blood.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll be very
Not to even mention shock.
I honestly don't see them making it through, but if
It's his choice.
that's his choice.
How are we going to do this? When are we going to do this?
Gonna have to move quick.
We have to move now.
We stay together nice and close.
Keep an eye out in all directions because the baby ninja predator zombie things are really, really quick.
Okay.
Let's just call them baby zombies, yeah?
And if you hear a voice that's not from our group, ignore it.
What? But they can talk?
Yes,
They can talk.
Oh, fun.
Well,
Don't forget, you look up. They're in the trees. They climb.
they can.
Like Chucky monkeys.
Yeah.
Don't
Are
know
you
if they can
sure?
talk, but they can make words.
They can make noises.
Okay, let's ask them to stay silent, so if anybody talks, we know it's not us.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we going to do about light?
We're gonna have to defensively use it to some degree.
We've got one pair of night vision.
We were walking as best as we could in what little light there is, and there's not much out there. I
The
can
night
see that
vision
much.
is binoculars.
I thought
Yeah, good luck strapping that on your face.
that's cool, never mind. Ignore me.
What kind of
Three
material
of
is
us leading might be able to use it. Actually. Three of us leading may be able to engage with peep into the binocs and get some sort of vision of what's going on.
To see what's ahead, that's not a bad idea. Your eyes are pretty good, Nick.
Okay, what about this?
So, yeah.
Yeah. What if we just make a distraction, and then everyone else just caps it to the cache? We draw, I say we, whoever goes, draws the baby zombie things away, and everyone else just runs it with lights.
That could
Go.
be suicide.
I think I know who you're talking about, and I don't think he's going to be very happy about it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we try and just stumble our way,
You guys
the
can't get rid
occasional-
of me that easy.
Yeah.
That's Jake,
Yeah.
by the way. Not the omnipotent voice speaking into your
It
minds.
sounded like Jen for some reason. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Jin and Jake have merged.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should be happy.
Finally makes the wrestling a bit more even.
Because like the thing is, if we just try and like walk our way out with the occasional night vision, I mean, if they're as dangerous as you said they were, I mean, Jin and I was lucky to have made it in.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I was
So-
surprised.
Yeah, I have no idea how far away this cache is, but I don't really want to walk in the dark just waiting for
Oh.
something to attack me.
Yeah, as well.
Over the field.
Sorry for almost chopping your arm off.
Yeah, I only got one, man.
Distract.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He points to the two
I'll take
Russians lying on the floor. Boat.
both.
Boat. Boat. Home. Calm.
You take them to the boat. We'll be right behind you.
Well, if he wants to distract, let the man distract.
Promise. Boat.
Yeah,
I promise.
I promise.
You see him walk over towards where Ismail is. He kind of kneels down next to him. Again, like, kind of clutches something beneath his kind of military vest that he has on underneath his jacket. Says something to him, whispers something, kisses him on the forehead, stands back up, walks back over towards the rest of you. Promise.
Yeah, my way.
Yeah,
See him
promise.
take out knife. In the other hand, he's got a torch.
Hold up my hand. See ya.
He can't go alone.
He puts the knife
Are you
back in.
volunteering?
He can't go alone. I can't send him out by himself.
Are you volunteering?
I don't see anybody else that can.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be voluntold to go.
You're not going out there.
I can't let him go out there by himself. We're literally sending him to his death.
Maybe there's another way then.
If it is his choice, mate, it's his choice.
I agree with Tom.
I feel like he's. It sounds like he's willing to give himself for his friends. It's not a great option, but
You see him walking towards the roller door. It's both in hand.
Wait.
Looks back around towards you. Promise.
Promise.
see.
You can see Jake's in the kind of same boat. He
Jake will need. If I
Doesn't
see
feel
Jake
good
like
about
doing
it.
that, I'm like, Jake,
Yeah.
you've got mad carry skills. We need you to carry someone. We might need you to carry two people.
Is Ishmael still got his firearm like, next to him, or has?
he actually still has it. It was strapped to him. It's by the side of him with his other pack that he has as well.
I'll go and take it off and hand it out before the big guy leaves.
Yeah.
To who?
To
Rude.
Ruth.
He's got one over his shoulder.
Okay.
But
I'll still hand it for.
Make some noise.
You'll need.
Doc. Better.
2 better.
Okay. And he taps you on the back and pulls you upside next to him.
Oh shit!
And starts leaning down to open up the roller door.
And I turn by to Jen. I say, I'm sorry, but I can't send a man out by himself into certain death.
We're not sending him out. He's...
Then there's got to be another way. I'm not letting you walk out there.
We don't have much time.
Yeah, seriously, we don't. Let the man go.
I hate to
Or
do it.
men go.
I'm not a good distraction. I can't run with this foot.
I'm taking the piss, mate. When he goes out, just like, duck back in.
Unless you can think of a better way to do this.
It's always been, we never do anything alone.
Whether it's just him or 2 people running in to cause a distraction for a horde of undead or whatever those things that were up here, they're dead.
You're not coming back from that.
You're not coming back from that.
Chain starts getting undone.
Okay. Jake, can you start? Like, nod to, like, the unconscious people. Nick, you're the only, like, non-cripple between us. Other non-cripple between us, could you... Which way? Okay. Which way is the cage?
Point to the direction of the cage.
So he's pointing essentially to the opposite side of this building,
Like the back of it.
the back of it, which
And there's no actual back door. We actually have to, like, run.
no,
back
no,
door.
it's the front and around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go, Rude, right. We go left.
Right.
You right, we left.
Nods.
Take the gun. Not me, the gun.
He kind of taps the one on his back. Keep.
Alright. Sling that over my shoulder then.
Okay. When we go out, no one shoots until he starts shooting. We don't want him, like, come to us first.
No one shoots if they have to.
Yeah, but like if you absolutely have to, wait for it. I mean, try and hold off whatever it is with your bare hands if you have to, but do not fire a shot until he starts shooting.
If we manage to get there, set off this explosion, I think we should try our best not to shoot once that explosion goes off.
That as well. And I'm bet you
Give
he'll...
them a new target to find.
Chains are undone. He's got his hand on it. He's just looking and waiting. As you can see, Jake goes over and picks up Ismail and puts him up and over his shoulder as best he can, holding him nice and tight up against him. Nick, do you grab the other guy? Okay, for the unarmed, injured Russian, you go over and pick him up.
You grab a couple of those extra backpacks.
Okay.
Hand out if anyone needs it, wants an extra bag.
I'm always carrying mine, so I'll recall one.
Extra ones.
I'll grab an extra one. Are we making a dash for it?
Why did we get here?
You.
Why did we get in here?
Like us or us?
Yes, us.
Like us.
Me and you. Why did we get in here if they're out there?
I think they're stalling, waiting for the reward.
We got there. We came in here to get them.
No, I'm asking, how did we do that?
How?
If those things are out there, why did we get
Why did
in?
they let you through?
Because they let us in. Which is why I floated the idea of a distraction.
More fun.
Because if they let us in here, it's for a purpose. They don't want us to get out.
Okay.
And they're
Okay.
if they're smart, if they can talk or at least vocalize, they must know the horde's coming.
Okay.
And if the horde's here, they know we won't be coming. We won't be able to get out. And I'm not sure if there is a way into here, but I bet you they'll find it.
Jen takes her bow off and takes an arrow out and just knocks it, has it kind of at the ready. Rud, who's still kind of kneeling down by the door.
Are we ready?
Ready?
Give him a thumbs up.
Try not to get left behind. Stay with the group.
I look at Rude and I just say,
I'm just gonna take a moment to duct tape, but get some duct tape that prosthetic foot on a little tighter.
Okay.
I don't want that falling off in the front.
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't really see that in detail, so I'll just go.
Just like he like pulls it up, just throws this thing up with as much strength as he has, and it just like rolls back up, and just you see that rain pelting down as he flicks on the torch. It just illuminates just the rain just all about here. You see the bodies that were left on the ground as he starts to move out into the rain as it starts to hit him.
I'm just going to throw it out there. We're prioritizing guns over this.
He's already out, like as Nick says it, like he's already out in the rain, and he just screams at the top of his lungs, just "Ah!" and like starts running into that darkness with his torch out, curving round to the right.
Go, 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 go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You all start to move out, the rain hitting you, touching your skin, and that is where we're going to end the first part. As you head out into the night, decisions have been made. Paths have been set. Events are in motion. Tumbling. We'll see where they land in the next. Thank you for joining us. I've been Rycon. This has been our team of survivors. Surviving for now. And until next time, stay tuned.